something that you actually taught me, Ashley, was behind every thought, there's either fear or there's love. And those two things are what drives pretty much every single thought.
Welcome to the Badass Manifester podcast, keeping you inspired with high vibe content, bringing you the best manifestation and mindset tools, teachings, interviews, and answering questions to help empower you to get out of your own way and take massive action to make magic your everyday normal. I'm your host, Ashley Gordon, spiritual life and manifestation coach, helping women and spiritual entrepreneurs manifest more impact, influence, and income. It is my purpose and pleasure to help you wake up to the badass creator that you are. Let's do this. Hi, everyone. We are live. I'm so excited. Day 3, Shaken To Awaken. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely feeling more lit up and more aligned, and I feel more grounded and just like centering myself in really good content and information instead of the news and the stuff that is bringing me down. And today I have such an incredible guest that I cannot wait to share with you. Her name is Shyma, and she works with incredible women. She's a psychotherapist by trade, but she's also a coach. And she is really all about your relationship, building your relationship with yourself so you can build beautiful friendships in your life, beautiful love relationships in your life. And she helps women manifest their dreams, especially in alignment with their relationship. So welcome, Shyma.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
So excited. Hey, everyone. I see we have 9 people already. And I just want you guys to drop like where you're tuning in from and how you're feeling today. And just so you guys know, Shyma is live from the UK.
Yep.
What part of the UK are you from right now?
I tend to just say London, but it's northwest London on the suburbs. Yeah.
Awesome. So we got some global vibes going on in here, which is so cool. And today she's going to talk all about rubbing on the self-love sanitizer. And when she gave me that title, I was like, this is incredible. Incredible. So before I'm going to let you like dive in more, I just kind of wanted to set the stage because over the next, 8 days, 7 days, I can't remember now, I'm going to have different women, and Shyma is kicking us off, that are part of the Manifest Max Impact Mastermind. And each of these women has such unique gifts to share. And so we thought, let's kick off with some self-love. So if you didn't also tune in yesterday to Alyssa talked all about connecting to your breath. And I just feel like it was such a perfect segue into what you're going to share with us today. So I'm going to let you take it away and say your intros.
Oh, thank you so much. And I just had a question about how people can stop themselves from panicking in this situation and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. So what I wanted to kick off with was that I think particularly in this situation, I know a lot of people are feeling a lot of anxiety and feeling a lot of nerves. And I think if we really dig deep underneath what's going on the surface, what I think is happening is people are just really feeling out of control. So when you look at the behavior of people, I'm including everyone in this, when, for example, we are trying to stock up on toilet paper, when we're trying to stock up on dried pasta, when we're trying to stock up on rice, I know for us that feels like quite a practical step. But I think underneath it all, what we're really trying to do is we're just trying to do what we can to feel like we have some control over this situation. And I heard that, for example, I think gun sales in the US have gone up. And again, that just says to me, people are trying to grab control, because I know guns in essence are not going to help against the virus, but you just feel like, okay, I need to do something about my safety, let me buy a gun. And I can totally see how that happens. So I think what would help in this situation, and it's much easier said than done, is if we try to be at peace with not being so in control. And it's like, okay, how are we going to do that right now when all of this craziness is going on? I mean, in London, they've just started closing all the restaurants and pubs, and, it's going to the next level. But something that you actually taught me, Ashley, was behind every thought, there's either fear or there's love. And those two things are what drives pretty much every single thought. And so when we're trying to really control a situation, and this actually goes further, this goes into relationships, this goes into dating, when we're trying to control a situation or try and control a person or try and control an outcome, it's coming from fear. And it's coming from trying to shift things a certain way and being very attached to an outcome. And that's what stresses us out, and that's what causes us this anxiety that we're feeling right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us through a meditation in a second, and I'll just set the intention real quick. And the intention is to, as much as possible and as much as is right for you, the person doing it, to shift from this fear into more of a space of love. And when we do that, that's when I believe the peace comes, the joy comes, that's when more of the manifestations happen. Because I know, like, for example, when I was chatting with you guys about this in the mastermind yesterday, when I've been in a place of so much pressure and so much control and so much like, this has to happen by this date, and, you know, this totally has to turn out the way I want it, otherwise what am I even doing? I can't manifest. I know I've done it enough to know that I can't manifest from that space, because that's not a space of flow. But the flow comes and the manifestations come, ironically, when you let go. So if it's okay, what I want to do now is take us just through a brief extract from a meditation I do, which is to send love to every part of our body. And the reason why I'm doing this is because what we do have a control over, and what is healthy to have control over, is our vibes, is our energy, is what we're putting out. And you have total control over that. You will always 100% of the time have total control over that, regardless of what is going on. And that's actually the healthiest thing for you to focus on controlling. So is that all clear, Ashley?
Totally. I just wanted to add to that with you and just say, like, I couldn't agree more with what you're saying. And everyone is like, yes, on here, like on Facebook, I'm seeing the comments. And the vibrational control you're talking about, like, that is literally everything. And I was walking the dog last night outside, and I was thinking to myself, like, regardless of external circumstances, we're still the creators of our life.
Totally.
Right? We're still manifesting our reality. I think I sent you guys that message. You know, we're still manifesting our reality, and your reality is still what you say it is, what you feel it is, what you think it is in your personal reality right here, right now. So I think that's just so on point what you said. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so let's start sending love to every part of our body. And this has a twofold, I guess, benefit right now, in that it's healing. You know, it's really weird. And like, I'm also kind of, I study psychology, and sometimes that goes into really logical and kind of scientific things. So when I say things like, when I feel like I'm getting a sore throat and I do this meditation and I send love to my throat, and then the sore throat goes, like, my logical mind is like, how is that even happening? But it works. I can't explain exactly how. I know it's something to do with energy, but I know from experience it works. So it's a twofold benefit, hopefully, to this meditation, which is healing and also filling you guys up with love. And then I'll talk afterwards as well about what we can do with, hopefully, all this love we're going to pour into ourselves. So if you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes. If you're not comfortable, you can do it with your eyes open, that's fine. And just take a couple of grounding breaths. So in for 3. 1, 2, 3. Out for 3. 1, 2, 3. In for 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And out for 3. 1, 2, 3. And actually, as we're slowing down our breathing, I'm going to start by sending love to our breath and thanking our breath. Some people say the breath is literally what connects our soul to our physical self. And as you breathe in, you can feel the rush of your non-physical energy just rushing into your body. And as you can breathe out, you can feel it taking away any tension, any anxiety, any nerves right now, just leaving you with total love and total joy. And then I'm going to start at the top. And I'm going to thank our eyes. So thank your eyes for allowing you to experience all the beauty of this incredible world. Even in these hard times, when we might not be able to venture outside too much or go that far, we can still video call our loved ones and see them. We can still watch entertainment. We can still work on our jobs, our careers, our businesses. By the gift of sight, we can still behold the world. So thank you, eyes. And I invite you to thank your eyes. And then down to our nose, the thing that gives us breath, that inhales all the beauty of the world, that allows us to experience the world through scent. Thank your nose. I'd like to thank our mouths. This is a big one for me because it's allowing me to speak to all of you right now. It's such a gift. And again, it gives us the gift of breath, gives us the gift of connection. We can kiss our loved ones. So thank your mouth. Thank you, mouths. And then as we go down, thank your heart. Without you even thinking about it, it pumps 24 hours a day, every single millisecond of the day. It's pumping blood around your body, sending oxygen, sending nutrients, sending love to every single cell in your body. And we don't even have to do anything. And it shows up for us. So thank you to our hearts. Thank your hands. I'm sure you all used your hands to access the device with which you're watching this. You use your hands to interact with the world, to interact with our loved ones, to hold hands, to touch, to feel sensations. When you're cold, imagine wrapping yourself in a fluffy blanket. All that sensation of touch is thanks to our hands. So thank you, hands. And then as we go further down, thank you to our stomachs. Again, without us even doing anything, you digest our food and you take the nutrients, the incredible nutrients, without us even having to think about it. You do the filtering and you take what's good, the vitamins, the minerals, the goodness, and you distribute that throughout our whole body. And the badness is removed. The badness is removed and we don't even have to think about it. We don't even have to do anything. Our stomach is literally part of the filter of our vibes. It filters out the bad. So thank you, stomachs. And then as we go further down, thank you, legs. Our legs literally take us everywhere. Take a second to thank your legs for bringing you to the place where you are right now. For bending to allow you to sit if you're sitting. If you're standing, for giving you the strength to stand. If you're walking, for literally giving you the ability to walk the world. I mean, imagine if they shut down all the transport and all the cars and everything just has to stop. We can still walk the world. Thanks to our legs, we'll never be stuck. So thank you, legs. And then finally, let's thank our feet. And our feet literally keep us grounded. Our feet are a connection to the earth. every single day, every time we take a step. It's our connection to the earth, it's our connection to Gaia, it's our connection to the roots. And what you can do if you ever feel nervous, if you ever feel anxious, you can just visualize all of that nervousness and anxiety and negativity just going out through your feet into the earth, and the earth will eat it up. So thank you, feet, for connecting us to the ground, to the earth, and for holding our body every single day. Thank you. We'll take a couple more deep breaths. In for 3. Out for 3. And then again in for 3. Out for 3. Just send one last wave of love all over our body. Imagine a pink light or a light blue light just going all over your body and washing it with love. And then when you're ready, I just invite you to open your eyes and connect back.
Wow, that was absolutely incredible.
Really? Okay.
I got chills all over my body.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Everything you said was just so true. And I was like, really, wow, that's what self-love sanitizer is, huh?
Yeah. I mean, that was like an express version, and I tend to just intuitively, like, well, I know there's a million parts of the body which I missed out, but I just intuitively picked out some. But I do a longer meditation where I go through a lot more parts, and you can take your time. Even if you want to do it yourself, you can do it really slowly and literally.
But like your voice guiding that, your voice, I feel like you need to be on all the meditation apps. Oh my God. It's so soothing. Who agrees? Who comment below if you were just like, what did you experience during that meditation? Please share with us. We would love to know. It was amazing. Whew. Yeah.
That's a really good one to do first thing in the morning. If you get the chance when you just wake up, because yeah, it's really powerful.
It really, really is. Wow. And if you guys have any questions about it, Danielle says, wow, that was incredible, Shyma.
Oh, thank you.
It was. And if you guys have any questions, definitely drop them for Shyma. Danielle said, yes, relax, gratitude, appreciation, and bliss.
Nice.
Yeah. So what next?
Okay, so once you're filled up with love, and once you're filled up with peace, and you've released a lot of the anxiety, the next step, because exactly like you said, Ashley, the route to happy relationships, I believe anyway, is self-love and healthy self-worth. And then once you have that, the world is your oyster to share this with other people, and this is what then attracts people to you in all senses. People will start gravitating to you. And this creates a really healthy basis for other relationships, because when you're coming from a place of self-love, you're not really coming from a place of need per se. You'll still have your standards, you'll still have your boundaries, but you'll have that really healthy sense of self-worth. And that's a brilliant basis for a relationship, because there's none of that neediness, there's none of that unhealthy attachment. So I've got a couple of like energetic hacks which we can do, especially in this time when we may not be connected physically to as many people as we normally are. So one thing I wanted to say is, if you see somebody who isn't as happy as you, who still seems to have some anxiety or maybe even is physically unwell, you can literally shift their vibe just with your now healthy, loving vibes. What you can do is you can just observe them, observe their energy, and literally emit towards them the thought, all is well. All is well. And you don't even have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. This might not even be someone you know. It just could be a stranger who you see who doesn't look very happy. And just emit that vibe, all is well. Because as you're feeling that, your energy is going out. And that's the energy that's going out. And that's something I really like.
I love that so much. All is well. I've said that before. Someone said it to me before years ago, and I was like, wow, just saying all is well feels really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love like omitting it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Damn. That is an energy hack.
And the other thing you can do also if you meditate is you can just when you perceive the world as you meditate, just think of the words everyone is healing, or whatever resonates with you. That one resonates with me right now, but whatever resonates with you, maybe something like the world is all coming into order, or the world is healing, or peace is filling the world. any of these things that just spreads love and spreads a bit of peace. The other thing you can do, and this again, if you get to go out and maybe, you know, you're walking in nature, maybe you're still going to parks and these kind of things, and there are people out and about, chances are there won't be as many people out and about now as there normally are. Definitely seen that in London. So a good thing to start practicing now is whoever you do encounter or whoever you see, think of them as your friend. And when I say think of them as your friend, I mean literally think of them like, oh, that's an old friend from years ago, and they, you know, they've forgotten about me, or I haven't seen them in years. And it's amazing what that can do. So I was in a restaurant like last week, and there were a couple of waiters, and I was just thinking like, oh, that's Dom and Gary from like a course I used to do. And I literally, the whole time we were having our meal, I was thinking, oh yeah, there's two of my friends just standing over there. And it's amazing because you start to relate to the whole world, almost like everyone's on your team. Like this is my tribe, and this is my team, and yes, and that energy again, it can create connection without you even having to say anything, without you having to do anything. So especially now, I think that can be a really cool way to connect energetically.
I was going to say, oh my gosh, that's so good. I love it. I absolutely love that. So like, let's recap a little bit. So step one is you have to fill yourself up first, because I think all these hacks are like starting with you, you know?
Yes.
Step two, you said was to, what was it? Oh, I forget. What was the other one? The first one you said.
Step two is then to start emitting the love out. So see happy and think all is well, all is well.
Oh my God, so good. And then step three would be to imagine everybody. I'm getting the numbers mixed up. That's why I'm mixed up.
You know, step three is imagining everyone is your friend.
As your friend, right.
It's more logical than I thought it was, but I guess you're filling yourself up with love. You're filling the whole world with love, and then your friends are coming out. So yeah, it works.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I think naturally you will, when you are doing all that, you're naturally going to attract more people into your life.
Definitely. Yeah.
Whoa, this is a framework.
Yeah, it is actually. I hadn't realized. Yeah, but you can use it step by step like that. Definitely, yes.
So Shyma will be launching a course that will go more in depth in this information. And the third step is what?
So what I wanted to say also, yeah, okay, I guess this can be another step, because I know that sometimes we can do all of this and then we'll go to the shop and it's out of toilet paper and all of these happy vibes and everything can go out of the window. What you can do, and this can be hard to do, but if you can do it in the moment, is to try and reframe. And I love the Abraham Hicks quote that speaks to this. Everything is always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. And you might say, well, you know, the shop's out of toilet paper. How is that working out for me? Well, how I like to think of it is, if somebody else took the toilet paper, they must need it more than me. If there's no toilet paper there for me, if the universe isn't giving it to me and they've given it to someone else, it's because that someone else needs it more than me. Or maybe that particular brand of toilet paper, I don't know, I have an allergy to, and so the universe is protecting me. Do you know what I mean? So if you can reframe in that moment and just keep thinking things are always working out for me, things are always working out for me, that can help the spiral. Because I know sometimes in these times, you know, you just think when things start not going to plan, the anxiety can start really spiraling. So that can help with that.
So good. And I do believe everything is working out for me. But you're right. There's sometimes where we we get like these challenging moments where we're like, WTF, mate? And
Exactly.
we're just like, I don't understand why this is happening. I mean, I definitely had some of those this past week. Alyssa says, love, yes, so true. And I'm curious, like, with this whole, climate right now in our society, how do you feel right now that it's all working out and happening for you personally?
Yeah. So when it first happened, I was like, what is going on? So I was having one of those spiraling moments because I feel like my identity is very much tied to being busy. Like I'm always like, oh yeah, I have to go here and I got to do that and I got to see this person here and I have family all over the place and I love going and seeing them everywhere and that's kind of I guess what I thought was part of who I am. So it's really interesting now that the universe is challenging me on that and saying, okay, well, who are you when you don't have that thing to tie yourself to? Who are you when you literally need to stay in one place and be in one place? And that was an interesting reframe for me. But the message that I keep seeing, and this might be a synchronicity, I keep seeing the message, slow down, slow down. And I guess especially for people like us who are busy and who do get a lot done and who sometimes feel a pressure to do, achieve. This time right now, to literally slow down, to connect more, to practice the self-love, to meditate. I mean, I'm always like, even me, and I teach this stuff, I'm like, oh, well, I don't have time to meditate. I'll only do it for 5 minutes. I don't have an excuse anymore. Like, this is the time to really connect. So yeah, I think that's the message right now. Slow down.
What I love most about that is how what I'm getting from this conversation and what I'm getting from this experience is like, even though we're being isolated, even though we're being isolated, even though we're being like in, quarantine, we're still being guided to connect. So even though there's like a disconnection happening, there is a reconnection happening. So it's like a disconnect to reconnect type of divine scenario. And I think that that's like what I'm getting from what you're saying. It's so cool.
Yeah, totally. Because I mean, there's been times like I reached out to a friend who I haven't spoken to in a couple of months because she's based in the States, and I was like, I really want to know how she's doing. So there you go. There was a connection which I wouldn't have otherwise taken the initiative on. So yeah, absolutely, it's a time for connection.
Yeah, and I keep muting and unmuting because I'm getting some feedback. Um, Theme song for quarantine, Alyssa said, is Slow Down by Nako, and the Medicine for the People is a must listen to. Okay, I'm going to listen to that. But the song that came to my mind was the Jack Johnson song that's like, slow down, everyone, you're moving too fast. Do you know that song?
Yes, I love that one actually.
Is this it?
Yeah.
No, that's not it. But yeah, I love that. What song is that? Anyone know? Let us know if you know. Marie said, I think we're realizing the value of connection we had been taking for granted. Totally.
Yes, I love that. Exactly, because you take for granted, like, oh, I'll go out and I'll see this person or I'll do that. And yeah, this is a time when maybe we need to think about our gratitude for other things. Like I'm so grateful for technology right now, allowing me to connect with you guys and allowing us to stay in touch with loved ones.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And this might be something that I've taken this for granted before. Like, oh, this is my daily life. I'm just always on Zoom talking to people.
definitely.
So thank you so much for sharing your heart and your guidance with us today, your beautiful meditation, your wisdom. Can you share, is there a last nugget that you want to leave? And then how can people find you on social media and book coaching with you if they feel called to work with you?
Okay, so the last nugget I'm going to share is quite a light-hearted one. During these times when things can feel a little bit heavy, and even when you're meditating and doing a lot of processing, things can be quite heavy. Mix it up with a lot of lightness. And what I recommend is watching comedy. So now, even when I'm doing work tasks and things that don't require like my full attention, I'll just have some comedy on in the background. And again, that just helps raise your vibes because it brings in the joy, it brings in the, okay, things are actually okay. And it can help shift a lot of the stuckness. So yeah, last tip, watch some comedy.
I muted. I love that. And if you have any Netflix comedy, shows that we should be watching, or YouTubes or anything later on, drop them in the comments for everybody.
Okay, that's a really cool British panel show called Would I Lie to You, which I absolutely love. It's on YouTube, so you guys can definitely get it. But yeah, I'll put a couple of tips. And then your other question about the coaching, yeah. So please, I think I should be in this live, so you can connect with me on Facebook, just literally with my name, Shyma Jundi. You can connect with me on Instagram, which again is my name, at Shyma Jundi. And you can email me, which again includes my name, info@shymajundi.com. And yeah, I would love to hear any questions you have, or if you want the full meditation, which is longer and slower, and I do more body parts, then hit me up and I would love to share that with you.
Thank you so much. We're so blessed to have you. And if you guys feel called to connect with Shyma, definitely don't hesitate. And make sure you get that meditation, because I know I will be getting it. So thank you for sharing your love and light with us.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for having me. And thank you all for watching. It's been amazing.
If you catch the replay, let us know your biggest takeaway and what you loved most about this day 3 of Shaken to Awaken. And tomorrow we will be having day 4, which I'm going to pull up right now. Day 4 is all about healing your relationship with food in times of anxiety and uncertainty with the beautiful and amazing Marie. Bloom with Marie. She's on this live stream right now, Marie Young. And follow her, connect with her, and tune in tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for some more love, light, and awakening. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Shyma. Bye, Facebook.
Everyone, bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Badass Manifester podcast. I love manifesting Mondays with you, and there's so much more in store right here. The best way to manifest love is to give love. If you loved what you heard today, subscribe to the Badass Manifester podcast. Leave a review on iTunes. Let me know how much you dig the energy here. All of my social is linked up in the show notes, so screenshot this episode, tag me on Instagram, and let me be part of your real-time journey. For more info on me, feel free to go to my website, manifestwithash.com. Repeat after me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. Go get them.